Hi, Cherish. Good evening. How you doing?
Yeah,
Oh,
good evening, Josephine. I'm doing fine, and how are you?
I am good. How's your day?
Very tough and stressful. I'm just entering the house now. In fact, I was just sitting in rest. I just remembered, oh, I have a 9 o'clock class. I have to just grab my phone again. But it's okay, we are good.
Oh, wow. All
And
right,
I
good to
can,
hear that. At least you're fine.
yeah, thank you. And hope you are good.
Ah, we'll try. We're pushing. We're
How
pushing.
was the
Thank
day?
God.
How was your day?
It was a lot. It was really a lot, but we're here, and I'm happy that it's winding down. Hi,
I can
Miracle.
imagine.
How you doing? Okay,
Hi,
so
just
yeah. Hope you're good. Hi, guys. Please do me a little favor. Help me drop in the community that we've started so that other persons can join in. Thanks, everyone. Please just drop in the community that, hey, guys, jump in. We have started. Hi, David. Hi, Deborah. Hi, Noreen. Hi, Salome. How you doing? Hi, Amaka. Good evening, my time. Hope we're good. Okay, so guys, do me a favor. Please, 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 I'm begging you, drop comments in. Hi, Deborah. Drop a comment in the community, urging others to join in. Because once it's 9:05 my time, we will kick off. So, yeah. Okay. Hi, Miracle. Are you putting on your camera? Hi, Ajaba and QS. Please join. There's a link in the community. Use that to join the session. Hi, Rahim. How you doing? Let's see. We have about 10 people on the call. Olukayode. It's been a while. How you doing? Emmanuel. Hi, Cherish. Cherish, are you joining the call? Okay, guys. So if you're here, do me a favor, right? Help me drop a message in the community and urge every other persons to join in. I'm sure they're waiting for some nudging from us. Okay, Miracle, are you ready? See, we have 11 people on the call. Hi, Shalai. How you doing?
I'm
So
great. How
if
are
you're
you?
just,
Good
I
evening.
am good. I'm good. Good evening. How's your day?
Pretty good. Thank you for asking. I hope yours was well too.
Yeah, it went well. It was a lot, but it went
Yeah,
well.
I got you.
So, yeah,
Great.
thanks.
Mhm.
So, guys, if you're just meeting me for the first time, my name is Josephine Bosa, the convener of EPLC, and you're going to be seeing my face a lot. So, good to meet you here. Miracle, let's know when you're ready, because 9:05 we will start proper.
And it is
Please drop a
9:05
message.
already.
It's 9:05 already. Good. Miracle, can you hear me? Miracle, please confirm that you can hear me. If you're having issues with your network, I think you would need to drop off and join back. And hopefully, the network is kind to you this evening. Uh, let's see. Let me reach out to her via WhatsApp and see
Hi, can
what's
you hear
going
me?
on.
My network is a bit woozy. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. We can now. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Can you hear
hi.
me?
I'm trying to share my I think I can hear you.
Okay. All right, cool.
Good evening, everybody. I'm trying to share my screen and okay. Good evening. Jocelyn, let me
Hi.
know when you can screen. Hi.
Yes, I can see your screen and I can hear you. Thank you for joining.
Thank you.
Thanks. Go ahead.
Hi everyone. Good evening. I hope we've had a lovely day. My name is Miracle, and I'm glad to be part of the community. And I want to say thank you to Josephine for the opportunity to I'm privileged to speak with you guys, you elites today. So we're going to be talking about coordinating team performance and productivity. Just in case my network trips up, please do let me know. Thank you very much.
Sure.
Um, okay. Okay, so we're talking about coordinating team performance and productivity. And this is very important as project managers because we manage people and there are different people with different attitude, behaviors, emotions. So you have to be very careful when it comes to managing people, right? So first thing first is speed. So what is project execution? Project execution simply means the phase where planned activities are implemented, resources are deployed, and deliverables are produced. You know, we have different phases in projects. We have the initiation, we have the planning, initiation, execution, monitoring, and controlling. But execution is where the work is done, is what takes the idea to result or the idea to delivery, right? That's where the magic happens during execution. If you bring up strategies and you have plans and you're not able to take actions on those on the plans and strategies that you have, it means that you're not going to get the desired results that you're going to get, and you have to question yourself as a project manager, right? So this phase is where all the activities are implemented, you deploy all your resources, and you're able to manage your staffs, those who have assigned roles and responsibility to ensure that the work is being done. And also, it's also the ongoing work of coordinating people, managing resources, solving problems, and as well making decisions that turn strategies into tangible results. Because at the end of the day, the essence of a project is there's a goal, there's something that you're trying to achieve. And so if you are not able to achieve that, you will not be able to close the project, right? So what this really means is you're managing humans, not just tasks. You're turning decisions into deliverables. You're navigating the messy middle between idea and delivery. So the bridge between idea and delivery is the execution. If you're not able to do that, you would not be able to deliver, and there's no result to show for it. And so this is where you as a project manager actually earn your salary. This is how you get paid. Okay, so there's something called the execution gap, right? So for example, if you've done the job of creating a beautiful plan, you have your work breakdown structure, you've done your Gantt charts, they're perfect, they've been outlined properly, you have your timelines and your dates, and budget has been secured, stakeholders have released budget, stakeholders have approved your planning and everything. But in the course of the project, maybe like 2 weeks after, you're calling up everybody and you're asking what's going on, what's the plan or what's going on, and there's chaos and maybe one person. So there are two people that are probably doing the same thing because there was no communication, and they're working on the same thing, and you're like, you're supposed to be focusing on something else. This is as a result of when there is no communication, when there's no assigned roles and responsibilities, you've not been able to do that, and you just started the project, and then everybody's supposed to just key in. It doesn't work like that. There could be misalignments and there could be stress, and this is going to affect execution. So planning gets you 20% of your project, while execution um replaces the gaps or finish the 80%, and that's why you're able to get results. Okay, so we also, what your team actually needs is not more processes. They actually need three things. You need clarity, you need confidence, and you also need care. Clarity is they get to know what they need to do, when they need to do it. Confidence is they believe that they can do it. And caring is they know you see them as humans. There are work environments that are pretty toxic, and you're waking up in the morning and you're already mentally exhausted because it is a toxic place. You're coming to work and your boss is already shouting at you. You probably not even had a break, and then they're piling up like 3 4 tasks that have not been, you are not mentally prepared for a lot of things, and then you're feeling like, are you supposed to be in this space? The work environment is supposed to be a safe space in code, not toxic, but a space where people can easily thrive and do what they're supposed to do. And as a project manager, that you're going to be managing a lot of people, you need to put all of these things in consideration. And I know for me, like a couple of people that I've worked with, I mean, like I said in the beginning, there are people that have different characters, or they have different ways that they react to certain things. There's a different approach to how Josephine would react to something. It's going to be different from how Emmanuel is going to react, right? It could be the same scenario but different reactions. So it means that as a project manager, you maybe, it might not even be your fault. It might be, oh, some people did not do certain things that they were supposed to do, and they come lashing at you and they pour everything on you, because they don't necessarily need to have a direct contact with the team members, right? You are that connection. So they lash out everything on you, and it at the same time you're probably upset and you're like, I didn't do anything, right? But then when you want to communicate that with your team member, you don't necessarily need to lash out on them, right? You can actually correct them and then pass the message without being toxic. I mean, I hope that bosses try to do better, right? Because I know that a lot of project managers, a lot of us have seen a lot. I mean, I don't want to start sharing stories, but yeah. So yeah, so first of all is clarity. Your team members want particular thing matter. So it means that you have several tasks that you want to do. So you need to base them on priority, right? So you're looking at what is important right now, what is urgent, and looking at what is important but not necessarily urgent. So you want to prioritize your task and focus on what is important, right? And who else depends on me? We have dependencies. There are certain tasks that cannot be done until somebody else is done. So maybe it's a marketing unit, and then designers need to make certain designs, but the content writers or the copywriters have not drafted it. They can't do anything until they are done with the copy and sent it over them to make a design before the media buyers can actually run ads. So a lot of things are dependent on each other. So you also want to ask, okay, who else depends on me? Like, okay, which of my tasks do I need to do now that somebody else needs? Remember when I said you need to know what matters, like based on priority. So you need to check out of your task who needs something, like who needs one of the results that you're going to give next. So you need to put that in priority so that you're not delaying another person's work. And you need to also know what does done look like, the results that at the end of the day, what does it look like? You need to have a picture of the goal that you're actually trying to achieve. So yeah, we always have daily stand-up meetings. As much as we have meetings where we talk about how it has been so far, we should also include include these things like being clear on what we need to do per time. So today we know exactly what we're doing. So as a PM, you're going to go to your tool, whichever one you're using, maybe Asana, Monday.com, or Trello, or Jira. So you have everybody's task there. So they also know, and then you're able to keep them accountable. But when this is not clear, people would take whatever task they deem fit that works for them at that point in time. It might not necessarily, they might want to push the heavy task there because they are not clear on what is important or what is urgent at the moment. So this needs to be clear from the start so that it makes everyone's job easy, including yours. So when stakeholders or the boss is asking for reports, you're clear and you're not fidgeting because somebody is not doing what they're supposed to do. You're trying to find a way to cover up. It eases all of that stress. So every morning, each person shares their priorities, dependencies, and also who to ask if there is a blocker, right? So if there's something that is making you stuck or something that needs to be done, right, you want to clear that out and sort that out immediately so that you don't look inefficient. So second thing is confidence. Your team needs to believe that they can do the work, you can support them. They're not above mistakes and they have what they need to succeed. So wrong execution means that team members are always afraid to admit that they are stuck. So when they always know that, oh, they're constantly going to be getting backlashes, or when probably they've done something wrong that it was not intentional, you're not even ready to listen to them. You just want to rants, or it might not even necessarily be about work. Maybe you have personal issues and you're bringing your personal issues into work by backlashing and all of. You don't want to do any of that. So you don't want to make the environment toxic for them. So that in that case, when you make the workspace not convenient, I'm trying to when you make the workspace good enough that where they can converse with you, respect is there, but then they know that when it's time for work, it's time for work. When it's time for play, it is time for play. That's that line is clear. It's not going to be blurry. Everyone knows what they are doing part time. So when they do something, they can easily come to you and tell you, okay, this is what's going on, and then you can know how to fix it. But when they're not able to communicate with you because they're not confident, they're not sure what's going to come next, it can get really bad before you are aware of, or you might probably even hear from somebody else, and that's not a good look for you as a PM. So you react badly to problems. Like when something comes up, how you react to that thing matters because your team members are going to be looking at how you react to things because they're also looking at you, how you behave. And that's whatever you allow or whatever you do is the same thing that they're going to do. So you also need to be careful about how you behave and how you react, because so that they're very sincere with you. And you should also give a chance where they're able to tell you things, like even if they notice something, even you yourself as a PM, because you're human and you can make mistakes. But if you don't have that good rapport with them, they're not able to tell you, and you might also get in trouble with your superiors. So you want that relationship is pretty important, and lack of resources or tools or training can also aid wrong executions, right? They don't have the necessary resources, or probably they need training and you're not giving them that training, and then someone is feeling that, oh, they're not capable enough to handle certain tasks that they've been given. So when you see that, oh, this person needs to stretch a bit or needs to go past where they are, you want to suggest tools or trainings that can help them become better. And also unclear success criteria, when you're not clear about certain things that you want to do, they're not sure that they want to do it, and then that thing is just left undone. Third thing is, okay, so your team needs to believe that you can succeed. How you respond defines their confidence. So 3 examples is when someone says, oh, hi, I'm stuck. Instead of you saying, oh, why didn't you figure this thing out? You could say, oh, thank you for telling me. What do you need, right? Or what support do you need? How can we help you? What do you need to get better? when someone makes a mistake, instead of lashing and saying, "How did this happen?" and you're ranting, you could just say, "What did you learn from this mistake? And how can you do it better next time?" Right? So that way, once it happens, they're you correct them in love. There are times that would require maybe somebody is just being inappropriate. Yeah, there are times where you need to probably like rake or actually hammer on certain things, but at the same time that you're doing that, you also want to correct in love. And when priorities change, instead of saying we need to pivot immediately, you say, okay, here's why this thing is changing, and then these are the expectations that we need from you. So in every interaction or conversations that you're having with your team members or subordinates, you want to ask them what support they need, and that way they are mindful that you care, and then it keeps them going, and it makes them very comfortable enough to speak to you whenever something happens, and that gives you an advantage to be able to sort out certain risks and mitigate any risk that happens as a result of their mistakes. The third one is caring. Your team needs to know that you care. You see them as humans, not as just resources that gets the work done. Right? Their well-being matters. You notice when they're struggling, and then you also protect them from burnout. How this breakdown in execution is you focus. So wrong execution is you're always focused on your task, not about them. You're not concerned about how they feel. Somebody might be going through a mental breakdown, or probably they lost somebody, or probably something happened, and you don't even care to ask what happened, and they are struggling with their work. I mean, these things matter, and they feel like, why should they even be here in the first place? Not necessarily because the work is not good, but because you're just counting on them, and they don't feel loved in the workplace. Someone is drowning and you don't even notice. You're pushing for pressure, you're pushing for velocity without checking for sustainability, how sustainable this thing is over time, and you're not getting feedback from them. You're treating them like you're just treating them like resources, basically, right? So you need to be mindful about that. You need to care for them, so that, and this helps them with their productivity. They're always happy and they get the work done. A lot of people feel like, oh, they need to bully their subordinates to get the work done. I feel like I understand that it is important to make them feel like they matter, and it gets the work done better, right? So don't start with, oh, so when you probably have a conversation or a one-on-one conversation with them, I mean, don't start with, oh, what's the status of the task at the moment? Oh, where are we at the moment? You're getting into work. No, first start with, oh, how are you doing? What's going on? And find out how they are feeling at that moment. Are they down? Something up? You don't even know whether one of the person you're talking to now, her mom, they broke her heart, or they broke something happened. So you want to care, and then you can now start asking questions, because sometimes when you are hounding them with, they withdraw, and they don't express themselves as much as they can, and you lose out on certain vital information that would have helped in the project. Then you can now start asking them, what's been hard for you this week? What's been good for you? How are you enjoying work? Is your workload sustainable? Are you feeling burnt out? What do you need now? Yeah, so basically ask them questions and get their feedbacks, right? So watch out for burnouts. There are a lot of people that are hard workers. Yes, they say that the reward for good work is more work. Yes, because it shows that you're capable, but at the same time, you don't want to burn somebody out because they're effective. For me, I've experienced that quite a number of times when they see that, oh, yes, this person is actually very efficient, and then they put more work. I've I've experienced burnt out because of being efficient. That's not a good work practice, right? Um you want to distribute works appropriately. So if you feel like, oh, the work is expanding, right? And then of course the work is expanding, the current staff is not working. You want to employ more people, not stress. And a lot of Nigerians do that thing a lot, and it's annoying. I hope that founders do better, right? They just want the best from people, want to stretch people a lot. You're not increasing their salaries, and they get burnt out, they get frustrated. It's not nice. So you don't want your staff working late consistently, missing deadlines. You want to check that. If they're always missing deadlines, it might mean that you've given them more work than required. If they're withdrawn, you want to find out why that is happening. If they're irritable or they're being snappy, they're always grumbling or murmuring, you want to check that. And when they withdraw, I mean, you also want to find out. These key things are very, very important. Keeping teams aligned and accountable is very important. I'm sure we are familiar with the RISI matrix, and which is making it real. And RISI is responsible, accountable, consulted, and informed. So responsible, who does the work? Accountable is the owner, and then consulted is asking for their opinions, and informed is we tell them after. So the example in this case is, okay, maybe we're launching a marketing campaign. Who does what? So it means that the marketing manager, who is the project manager, is the one that's going to be accountable for everyone to ensure that work is being done. In this case, who is responsible? Marketing campaign, you need art copy, you need, right? So it means that, oh, the content writer is responsible for that. Also the design team, who's going to design, is going to be responsible as well. Then we have the product manager as the person who is going to be consulted, and then the informed is also going to be the sales team. So everything that has been done, we now inform them and then work so everybody knows what they're doing. And even as with this, you can now then break down using the work breakdown structure. You can now align or outline specific roles and responsibilities with timelines and everything. Have that on your board or on your Trello, your Asana, and all of that. And clear deliverables, or people are trying to avoid certain tasks, you want to clear that and also assign it as well. So so making it visible, putting it, you can put it in a docs as well for everyone to see, update when things change. And then the magic here is that conversations become clearer, right? So before, you're asking who is handling this, and then nobody's saying anything and nobody wants to come out and take that responsibility. But now you know that, oh, Sarah, you're responsible for the blog post. Check it, Mike, and on the technical details, so everybody knows what they're doing. So when to use this, you use this at project kickoff, when priorities shift, or when there are certain things that needs to be adjusted or changed. You can also do this when something falls through the cracks or we're behind deadlines. You want to get finger pointing, or somebody's irresponsible and trying to blame somebody else. You want to also check it. Problem in execution: multiple people think they're in charge, or no one thinks that they're in charge. Work falls through the crack, and then finger pointing when things go wrong. So you want to be able to, you can sort this out with the RISI matrix. Accountability without micromanaging. Yeah, so about this, when it comes to micromanaging, a lot of people do not do well with micromanaging, right? But then there has to be a balance to it. So when it's time for work, allow people. You're giving them an hour. Okay, so between 3 p.m. to 4 p.m., you're supposed to get certain results, right? You're checking in at 4 p.m. You don't have to check in at 3:20 or 3, except probably the person is irresponsible and is somebody that you cannot trust and is not reliable. In those cases, you will not necessarily call it micromanaging. right? So when they're working, how they're working, every decision they make, you don't necessarily have to manage them, but you're managing when they deliver, and then also the quality standards. Outcome-based accountability framework set clear expectations, what done looks like, and also the deadline and the standard that you're expecting, so that you know that when they're sending in their reports, you know exactly what you're looking out for. Then when probably they have to reduce something, then you can now follow up consistently until they get it done. So that way there's a balance to it. Trust but verify. You can check out milestones, not necessarily allow hourly. Another thing is you could set your task, you could set milestones. So it might not necessarily have to be hour, but at every milestone, okay, this is what we need to check now, and then you follow up. Sports check quality. You don't necessarily have to review everything. There are certain things, like I said, you have expectations or KPIs or certain things that you're looking out for. You can now check that, because you also have to consider time. As a manager, your time is important and every minute counts. So once you know that there are certain parameters that you can look at that gives you the necessary results that you need, you don't have to now start checking for everything, so that you can focus on other things. I mean, you're working with different units. You cannot spend all your day on just one unit. Ask for what support they need, and if it's not done, you want to also clarify why that thing is not done. There are red flags that you need to intervene. So when deadline is approaching and then nothing has been delivered, or when you ask for updates and you're not getting any updates, you want to check in with that. Why? What's going on? What's slowing them down? Is it that they probably went to attend to something else and left their work, especially for remote roles? This is always very, very important. You might want to micromanage a lot remote with remote guys, because a lot of people do not pay attention. I mean, I'm not trying to, but then sometimes you have to. But then there needs to be a balance. So quality consistently below bar. So maybe there are standards or expectations that that has been set, and for some reason they're not meeting their expectations. You want to check in with that. There are blockers sitting for like after 24 hours. One task has not moved for 24 hours, and like the timeline is already getting close. You want to check what you want to. Oh God, can you hear me? I think my network went out. Can you hear me, Josephine?
Yes, I can. Generally, the MTN network is bad. I'm not sure if you're using MTN.
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh
We
right,
can
Go
hear you.
it's
ahead.
like
We
we
can
have
hear
to
you.
change
You're
networks.
audible. You're audible.
Go ahead.
MTN has been a lot recently. Okay, all right. So, uh, yeah, so how to intervene without micromanaging is just basically for you asking questions in a nice way, politely, and no asking, instead of just asking why isn't it done, and you can say, I noticed X is delayed, what's going on, how can we help? Another thing is how you, so certain terms, some languages or might not be wrong, but how you communicate it matters a lot to people, right? So you can say and I mean you can say something and then you're wondering, somebody tells you that what you said was wrong. Are you asking? So sometimes it's not about what you said, it's how you said it. You could be condescending when saying so. Let's be careful about how we speak, how we communicate with people. So, quick example is, as a project manager, instead of reviewing, so this is an example, instead of reviewing every single line of code with a developer, right? I mean, there are like lines of code. You don't want to say you want to now start checking each code, right? And wasting your time and wasting the developer's time. There are certain things you want to check out for, maybe like the pull request, the key parameters that you want to be looking for that has already been.
Okay, so finally, I think the network threw her out. Guys, can you even hear me myself?
Yes,
I
please.
think that's been very valuable. Okay, so while we're waiting for Miracle to join in, I'm sure that most of us started, when the session joined when the session started, right? So do we have questions? Do you have contributions, reactions? And by the way, if you're just meeting me, my name is Josephine. Both are the convener of EPLC, and nice meeting you as well. So let's talk about, what she has talked about. What did you, pick up from this session? Because I have a lot that I picked up, right? And I have my book here with me. So, but let's not concentrate on me. I want to hear feelers from every other person here. What do you think? Because I feel like this is really an important, sometimes we downplay this aspect of project management because at the end of the day, you're working with human beings. You're not working with robots. And this is where your soft skills come to play. Because with all the technical skills and everything that you know, when push comes to shove, you would need the people. I usually say it like you need the people who are in the kitchen because you and I know we don't really know how to cook. Like technically, when we come to a project, we're not the ones who get our hands dirty. The people who are literally in the kitchen are the ones who do the cooking. So you would need to work with those people to deliver the project successfully. Now, if you don't know how to work with people, that's where there's going to be a problem. So, regardless of how much you know in project management, all those are important for you to get through the door, get past the recruiter, land the job. But now you're in the job, you need soft skills. And this is where it's hard. You can also say, you know what, don't worry, when I get there, I'll cross the bridge. But let me hear feelers, let me hear contributions while I try to get Miracle to join back on the call. So who wants to break the ice? It's usually who's going to speak first. Who wants to break the ice? Yeah, go for it, Cherish.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Josephine. Nice
Good
session so
evening.
far. Firstly, I want to appreciate yourself and the speaker. I should note one thing that as project managers, the people are part of the project, but most times people don't see it in that light. The people are part of the project, and when you don't manage the people well, it becomes a whole lot. I manage
Mhm,
some people, and we should also know, like she said, we should know where to draw the line. Some people are attention seekers, so you should know that you can't give 30% of the project time to somebody's personal issue. It doesn't mean you're not going to show concern. So I want to come from the devil's corner there. I don't want to come from popular angle. It's good. We are empathetic. We show care. And but there are times some person just want to a shoulder to lean on, a shoulder to cry on, not during project time. So I could say, oh, you know what, we can hang out on a Saturday. We can talk about this on a Saturday, but just show a sign. Not that you just shut the person off, but show that
mhm,
sign about their personal life. It's also very important. Sometimes you look at your team and say, I observe that your energy level is low today. Hope you're good. And the person be like, yes, just don't give me push a little bit further. An average Nigerian, I'm in Nigeria, so and I'm a Nigerian, a proud Nigerian. And Nigeria will say, we are managing. Everybody is a manager now in Nigeria, even without portfolios. We are
mhm,
managing. Yeah. So don't just go with that. You really need to say, oh, okay, I know that, but are you sure you are good? Is there anything? Something I can tell the person, okay, take some 15 minutes off, come back. When you see a leader that is empathetic, you are really going to give more to whatever that leader is demanding. That is very
mhm.
practical. So I think let me, because of time, let me leave others to speak. I have a lot to say, but I think let me just hold my tongue for now. And I hope that the slides will be shared. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. So I actually agree with you because one of the top skills of a project manager is empathy, knowing how to work with people, knowing that these are actually human beings who have real life issues and all of that. So great. So who else wants to chime in? Your 2 cents, your contribution. It could be a question. All right. So it doesn't have to be boring in here, and we don't have to feel official, too official. Right. So who else wants to chime in? Who else? Who else? Because I jot down something here when she was talking about how you respond defines the confidence. And she says, and I said, asking leading questions help. Now, there's something I've observed in my experience as a project manager over the years is that sometimes most project managers have the Messiah syndrome. Okay, so the Messiah syndrome is, oh, there is an issue, or there's a blocker, there is a challenge, and everybody just reaches out to the project manager, and the next thing you want to do is you want to solve it right there and then. So again, the Messiah syndrome does not help your project team to grow. Because at the end of the day, as a project manager, you want to see your team go through different maturity phase. And if we have to be very sincere with ourselves, the economy does not allow for one to do one job. Like, you don't want to be stuck as a project manager with one job. So personally, for me, that's not the case. Okay. Now, the question would be, oh, Josephine, I'm a project manager and I have one job. How am I able to juggle 2 jobs? You cannot juggle 2 jobs as long as you're babysitting your current project team. So this is the way out. When there is a problem, they come and meet you, maybe during daily stand-up or during, any meeting of such, and they meet you and they say, so this is what we're going through. This is the challenges we have. We're able to make deployments, raise PRs, and all of that. Okay, so I see Miracle is back. See, no pressure. Everybody here, even though they're in abroad, they're Africans. We get it. We understand what's going on. Network has been bad, and don't feel pressured in any way. Okay, so I'll pass the baton to you. Go ahead and finish your slides. You're mute, so we can't hear you. Do you want to unmute? I think it's still.
Yes,
Yeah, we can hear you now. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I was saying that apologies, everybody.
It's fine.
Thank you. So let me just share my screen briefly, and we're almost done. So sorry for taking everyone's time. Okay, so yeah. Just please let me know if you can't see my screen.
Okay, it's not up yet. Once it's up, then I'll let you know. Again, don't feel pressured. That this, in fact, in project management, there's something we call this thing. We call it RAID. We have dependencies, issues that will arise within projects that you didn't even anticipate. So yeah, it's one of them. So yeah, so your screen, once your screen is up, I'll let them know.
It's fine. Yeah.
So while we're waiting for your screen to come up, I was talking about one of the things that I picked up during your presentation, and I was talking about the Messiah syndrome. Okay, and I said that you don't have to fix all the problems that your teams have. Okay, so when there is an issue, all right, your screen is up, the slide is
No,
up.
but you
All right.
can't
Go ahead.
finish what you're
No,
saying.
no, no.
No.
Don't worry, we still have a little bit of time. So complete your slides and then we can talk.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, so back to it. So yeah, we're done with this, and yeah, so creating a productive environment. I'm big on productive environment. It's very, very important. It helps with getting results. It does a lot, honestly. So you want to protect your focus time and that of your team members. So if there's work that needs to be done, blocking out time and give time blocks, like, okay, so Everybody go and do your thing. No stress. Like everybody go do your things. There's no meetings during focus time. You're giving people time to do certain things, and then you're coming up with a meeting and then eating into their time. It's not going to be productive. And also, deep work is also very important. You also want to communicate this with them, that they have an understanding of what they're expected to do. That when it's time for work, we're focusing on work and getting the job done. It's important, right? As much as you want to be understanding or also be a good person, rules are rules, expectations are expectations. That should be clearly drawn. When I mean business, I mean business. Outside business, we can now just that, but when it's time for work, so you want to draw that line, right? And also balance workload. So have there can be 1001 tasks. If you have all those tasks at once, it's going to the thought of it alone is mentally exhausting. That's the truth. It's mentally, so you're thinking of where do you even want to start from? No, prioritize these things and pick out two to three and know that this is what you're facing head on. Focus on it before you now bring in extra task, right? And you also want to visualize your work distribution with spreadsheet. Have all these things distributed, right? That's why your work breakdown structure is also very, very important. It's going to help with this, and then assigning just enough roles that people need per time that moves the needle, that gets work done, and then also redistribute if new tasks coming. So know who is taking what, who can accommodate more. So maybe some people are done with their task because probably they're productive or they know how to handle things faster. Then you can now bring in more stuff with them and just basically know how to balance it, that everyone is not over. You're trying to avoid overwhelm, you're trying to avoid mental exhaustion, you're also trying to keep people active and productive, so that at the end of the day everyone is fine and the work gets done. So for remote and hybrid teams, you want to document decisions visibly, like where everybody can connect and see these things. That's where our tools come in a lot. And also even if it's a physical space, and over communicate context. When I mean over communicate context is when you give certain responsibility or a certain task, you need to communicate clearly, over communicate if you need to, so that they understand what you are what your expectations is. Because if you don't do that, they could be doing something else thinking that what they're doing is right, and when it's time you realize that, oh, time has just been wasted because the context was not communicated clearly. So you want to do that, and also ask them, do you understand? You can even tell them, oh, can you tell me what I've just explained, or do you know exactly what you need to do? So once you have that, it's fine. Then they can go do their work. But if you don't communicate these things well, there are things that when they report, they have to go and do it all over again, and that's time being wasted. And you also try to avoid time wasting, and also create connection moments as well, like I've explained earlier. Very important. So you could have, that's why for remote teams you could have virtual hangouts, where you have like meet and greet, virtual meet and greet, where everybody communicates, or you could have like a game moment. So you want to have that connection. So it keeps people together. They're always looking forward to working. Then leading with clarity and confidence, right? So when priorities change, don't just come and say, oh, drop everything, we're doing this now, and then everybody starts to go panic mode. What's going on? What's going on? What's happening? No, you want to communicate, here's what has changed and why. This is what the boss wants, or this is what is happening, or certain modalities or certain policies have changed, so this is what we need to do now. You need to don't come and throw some order at them and not explaining why these changes are necessary. That's why these things, context is very, very important in piece of like in the workplace. So you tell them, okay, here's what is going to stay. What's this is what I need from you. Does anybody have any questions, or you need to clarify stuff? So you want to do that. Framework is explain the why. Clients, oh, for example, client needs this for Q4 board meeting, right? Or clarify what is staying. Oh, these core features are not changing, so you can focus on or these other things. Thirdly, be specific about the ask. Oh, Mike, I need you to pause on feature A and help Sarah with feature B for 3 days, right? And acknowledge impact. I know this has disrupted your week. Thank you for being flexible. Or thank you for your cooperation or something. You want to thank them. You want to appreciate them, and you want to motivate them as well. So when things go wrong, things is watching how you respond. Bad leadership, panic blame, hiding the problem. Good leadership is acknowledging it, accessing calmly, rally the team, communicate with them, fix it. So when things go wrong, acknowledge the reality, access the impact of what has happened, what is urgent at the moment, assigning clear ownership, right? Then communicate the progress, retrospect, and learn from the mistake or what has gone wrong. Case study is where we're going to have a quick conversation. So you're 3 weeks into a 6 weeks project, and the senior is two team members are behind, are not seeing anything, they're not communicating their updates, they're probably MIA, you're trying to reach out to them, you can't hear from them. Key stakeholders have added critical new requirements. You need to update that. The developers have just admitted they're stressed. They've not slept for 3 days. And no, the client has moved deadline up by 1 more week. And you have a team meeting in 1 hour. So what's going to be your action? How do you handle the stakeholders? How do you address this burnout for people complaining that they have burnout? And what are you going to say in this meeting? Does anybody want to try that? Does anybody want to go for that?
Hi everyone.
Hi, okay, thank you.
So I think this is really, really is dire, a very dire situation.
Yes, it is.
First things first, I mean, it doesn't have to have like a particular way to follow it, but most importantly is that you need to have an emergency meeting and just look at what is the most priority at the moment. Because from what you've listed, the best developer is already overworked, and it's likely and we're likely going to run behind on schedule. So we're going to reprioritize and look at, okay, what is really weighing the team down? What can we take out for now? And then try to break it into, little chunks and decide as a team what we're going to, ship first. And then we'll take the other ones as it comes. But we need to, that developer, we need to, share his, his workload, find out
Distribute,
going to
yeah.
assist in that, because it's really important. If he's burning out, then we're not going to get the best outcome from him. So we need to
Exactly.
get other team members that we can share his load across. And for the stakeholder, we're going to ask the stakeholder, look, if you're adding this new, what did you write? Yes. So what do you want us to take out, to replace this your new this thing with? Because you cannot have the two at the same time. This is the situation of the team at the moment. So based off of that, whatever is agreed as a team and what the feedback we get from the stakeholder, that's what we're going to go with. So that's what's going to be my first take in it.
Please let's give
Okay,
clapping
she,
emoji. So
okay, she says, is the look for me like, hey, stakeholders?
Yes,
So,
so
laugh anyway.
because these stakeholders sometimes they just want to make
some of them
you
are heartless.
frustrate
Some
you.
of them are heartless.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
Oh,
So
those things that
sometimes I
business
just
managers
ask
are
them to say, look, okay, so
magicians.
what do you want us to take up for what we're already working on? If you're adding new things, then we need your approval to remove this one. So that when we're going to
straight
have
up.
our review at the end of the day, we'll say, well, you told us to take it out. So
Exactly.
it's not just going to be the responsibility of the team alone to bear. You also have to be part of it too, because you're also accountable to what we're achieving. So
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing. I'm not seeing the clapping emojis. Can we clap for get you, please? Let's do
they
it.
have already.
Let's do that. No, I wanted more. I wanted more. Amazing. Okay. That's great. Thank you so much. All right, so to wrap this up, there are certain things that you want to take from this session is that you all need to start daily alignment checks in your stand-up meetings. Could just be 10 minutes from your meetings, asking what supports do they need, what do they need from you, and also pick one deliverable and always if it's an unclear deliverable, you want to clarify that, and also the roles, checking on someone's workload, is it sustainable? If someone is complaining about burnout, you want to check on that, and also protect your focus time. It's really important for productivity. I hope you learned something in this session. Thank you for listening to me. I am super grateful, and thank you for staying up to the end. I don't know if you have any questions, discussions. Yeah, over to you, Miss Josephine.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Miracle. I remember reaching out to you and I was like, hey, we did do this. And I'm happy that you took time out of your busy schedule to get this done. And I'm also happy that you didn't allow the network phase you, because this is real life and real things happen
It's not
in real
nothing
life.
new. So yeah.
Yeah, so thank you very much. I am so grateful, right? I remember that just was it yesterday where the cohorts and you're like trying to grapple with what project management is. I look at you, I'm so proud of you. These are the things that make me so happy, that I'm looking at my students and they're doing way better, way better. Thank you very much. I love you. Thank you. Okay, so we have a few minutes left to ask question, but I have a concern, right? So yesterday I posted a link in the channel, and that link was we're supposed to populate the topics that we're struggling with or areas that we wanted to have more knowledge and clarity on. And I've been checking that link since yesterday. Nobody has posted anything. So is it that anything we teach you people in this group is like food, right? So if I serve anything, you people will eat the food though. Because if I'm
Let's
not
just
telling
do
you
live
what I
session
want,
like this. Just open that thing, because I've looked at it. Honestly, I was like, I had to wrap my head around what exactly I need to do. So just
no,
do
so
one like this. We'll run. Me,
how,
I know I'll run with it. Seriously,
okay, how do you
that's
mean
just the
do
only reason
one?
why I have one.
How do you mean do one? Help me understand.
So I've seen what the way you have, the templates that are there. So we're
Okay.
supposed to replicate it, but in what we are supposed to be doing for ourselves, right?
No. The template is to post topics. So if, for instance, I'm having a challenge in estimation, or I don't know estimation, you're just supposed to put it there and I can pick it up. So if you put estimation there and prioritize it, remember I put a priority there, the demand. So I don't know
Oh, okay.
estimation and I really need this. So you can put it at high. So the next time
Okay.
I want to teach, I'm going to pick that topic and teach that topic, or another mentor who knows that topic is going to pick that up. So I guess maybe we don't know the reason. So please, if
You
you
see, that's
have
why I need
any challenge,
explanation. Yeah, because I wasn't quite sure
yeah,
what was expected.
yeah, so it's about, because we talked about it in our hangout when we had this afternoon hangout, right? So if you're having any challenge in project management, project leadership, there are areas you're not clear and you really need it, like you really, really need it. Because the tendency that I will teach what you do not need is high, or what does not relate to you. So help me to put it there and put it at high demand. I said, just so you see this one, I really need it. So that when I'm thinking of what to teach, I'll just go there, or any other mentor, right? Ogechi, any other mentor could just go there and say, okay, someone really needs this knowledge. And that will form the next mentorship session. Okay, so I usually feel like 1 hour is not enough, but let's be doing 1 hour for now.
No,
Right?
1 hour is fine. No, 1 hour is fine. Keep working with 1 hour.
All right, so see you guys tomorrow by God's grace, and I'll be the one presenting tomorrow, so do not miss it for anything. I love you all. Bye bye.
All right, thanks,
Thank you
guys.
so
Bye.
much. Bye. Bye, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Bye, everyone.